Hello, this is Pauline Perot with Jump Out of Bed, and thanks for tuning in to this week's vlog. I wanted to share with you something that has really been weighing heavy on my mind that I think a lot about, and that is from a book that I read called The Leadership Challenge, which is by, I don't even know how to pronounce their names properly, but I'll go with Kozner and Poots. Who knows? Anyways, The Leadership Challenge, if you Google it, it's a really popular and well-published leadership book. One of the things that they talk about in this book is whether or not your employees know their own personal values and whether or not they know their organizational values and then what effect that has on their commitment to the organization. Now, it wouldn't be surprising to you that if I told you that if an employee really knows the organizational values very well, and they also know their own personal values, their level of commitment is the highest. That's kind of clear and obvious. But the surprise in their findings, and the thing that kind of haunts me that I think about a lot, and I really wanted to share with you because it would have huge value for you, is the second highest level of commitment in terms of how an employee would commit to your company, your organization, your agency, is whether or not they know their own values. So let's just sit with that for a moment, because if an employee actually knows their own values system and they're able to articulate it, and they don't really know the values of your organization or agency, the fact that the thing is that they'll be even more, or the second highest level of commitment to the job just because of that. And I think that's fascinating. And I don't know about you, but I ran a session not that long ago with a group of clients, and I said, how many of you could tell me what your top 3 values are in life, just like that, without a lot of laboring around that decision? And I know that I couldn't answer that question more than a couple months ago. Of course, intuitively, we all know what our values are. We know when they're violated. But to really be able to say, hey, off the top of my head, I know my number 1 value is gratitude. My number 2 value is innovation, and my number 3 value is creativity, or whatever the case is. For me, definitely gratitude ranks in my top 3, but I wasn't able to articulate that. So what I wanted to leave you with this week is the thought of, A, do your employees know what the values, or let's start here, do you would even have values for your organization? Secondly, do your employees know what those values are, and do they really understand what they mean? Because if I poll 10 different people, what does integrity mean? I get 10 different answers. And thirdly, if it's so important that employees actually know their own personal values, and that alone increases their commitment to your organization, you're crazy not to go have this conversation with them, especially after seeing this video. So I wanted to leave you with those thoughts. Have a fabulous Friday afternoon, and I hope you have a great weekend. Talk to you next week.